And we are back, episode 54, the show about nothing, radio show about nothing, podcast about nothing. We are back. DJ Ish. I haven't actually introduced myself on the show in like months.
We
bro.
just stopped that. We just stopped that.
To my lifelong best friend, co-creator, co-host, co-owner of the studio, all that good stuff. Talk to him.
What's up? What's popping?
Yes, sir.
Episode 54 is happy to be here. The show about nothing. I am Drock. That is Ish. We are here to make things happen, man. First off, I just want to say thank you for watching it. Last episode was our highest view episode so far, so I want to say thank you for that. And please stop, subscribe, like, comment, all the socials in the bio. Please give us a follow on Instagram. If you follow us on Instagram, DM us any topics you want us to hear us about. If you are an artist, if you just like podcasting, you have a podcast yourself, you want to come on the show, let us know. We are not Funny Marco.
Listen, let me tell you, I'm a shoot. Never mind.
So, if that's your vibe, please do not try to come up here. But, again, thank you for listening. And let's get straight into it. I have a very important question to ask Ish.
Right.
And I thought about this question the second you left last week. And I said, I'm going to ask him anyway.
But
going on a date with the woman you have met maybe once before, but you don't really know for real.
Right.
Would you rather... And you guys are going to see a movie. This is a dinner and a movie situation.
Okay.
Would you rather her order 48 oysters before that movie, or would you rather her order a full rack of ribs and double baked beans?
Okay. All right. Is it a funny movie? Like she gonna be laughing a lot?
Yes.
Damn. So she.
It's a comedy, like a rom-com type movie.
She gonna have that oyster breath.
Our 48 ribs. I mean, our a full rack of ribs with double baked beans.
I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with some baked beans.
She got the double baked beans with the full rack, and she don't eat them pretty. She don't eat them pretty at all. They don't bring her the napkins, so she ain't got the wet wipes.
Listen, they brought the wet wipes. She ain't open them.
She opened them to the last minute, like walking out the restaurant.
She got the joint.
She got nails too, so she's sucking the barbecue sauce off her acrylics.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go with the oysters for real. I'm going to go with the oysters for real. For our younger viewers, you can mute this part. But I was told by a very reputable source that oysters are aphrodisiac. So, like, hey, she eat 48 of them joints. I mean, what did Zell say?
I'm leaving with...
I'm from around the way, shorty.
I'm from around the way.
I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving with something for real.
But the answer is definitely oysters. Yeah. I'm a real connoisseur.
Yeah.
Hey, look, brother.
Ribs and the beans?
You get a shawty to eat a full rack of ribs and beans. First off, a full rack of ribs is 12 to 14 ribs. I don't know if y'all seen a rib lately.
She eating pork ribs? That's haram.
But 14 pork ribs.
That's haram.
14 pork ribs. 14 pork ribs is crazy.
That is wild. Nah, that is crazy. That's real crazy. Because listen, any date you go on, you're getting alcohol. So she's throwing back lemon drops over this barbecue sauce.
14 ribs. And she got double baked beans.
The question is, like, she ordered 14 ribs. What do you as a man order now to still be the man at the table?
You gotta get 2 racks.
Like it's either 2 racks or like an elephant steak. Like the biggest steak in the crib.
Elephant.
Like a 52 ounce.
You got to get the tomahawk with the lobster tail.
Yeah, you can't get... Like, she ordered a rack of ribs, double baked beans. You can't get like a burger. Like, you look like a loser. Like,
what she do? What noise you make when she start the second can of baked beans? You just watched her finish one. Now she got 6 ribs left and another baked beans, and she don't look like she's stopping.
Listen. You're happily almost married. Listen, it's really bad out here. They doing this for real. They be doing this for real. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, they be doing that for real. Bro, I really almost dropped a tear, like laughing, like y'all at the table. They brought the plate out. She like, where my second thing of baked beans? What? Like, damn, you stopped that nigga for the baked beans?
You remember?
Yeah. You saw the baked beans on your plate. He was like, that's not enough. That's not double.
That's not enough. What the fuck they think they playing with?
No, that's crazy.
Bro,
question. This is definitely like a Patreon preview. But like, do you have like your girl like send back food for you?
1 million. I don't talk to nobody in a restaurant no more. She had to get used to it because she's 2 years younger than me. So like, yeah, I don't know, but like, Patreon, YouTube. Patreon. White women don't really like be vocal young. Yeah. It's just like a thing. Like when I was in high school, they would be like, "Can you order this for me?" Yeah. Like, the fuck is wrong with you, dog? So that's like,
Speak,
like
bro.
It's just words, my nigga. Like that's their job. Is for you to speak to them.
Listen, and I guess I won't go too deep, but I can say they do that like everywhere too, like at Dairy Queen and shit.
Yeah, like you could be in the drive-thru and they'll be like, "Talk across to me." The fuck? But
yo, they could be driving.
What I'm in your car for if I got to order too, dog? Like nah. But yeah, I don't talk to waiters no more because like y'all can see me. I ain't the friendliest looking nigga. Like so, I don't like to be rude, and I try to talk soft, but it come off as like my voice get real high pitched. It's happened on this show before, so I know people that have been listening have heard it before. Like my voice get real high pitched because I be trying not to sound intimidated. Because when I drop my voice and I'm really talking, because you know me, like I mumble when like in everyday talk. I'm not enunciating like this. I do not talk like this in actual life. Yeah. So not to try to be rude, I get her to do it. But then she white, so it's like damn, like she kind of is rude just for asking. Right. It's like be grateful for what you got.
That's crazy.
but yeah, I make her ask for sure.
That's wild. As y'all get older, you might make her a Karen for real. Have y'all talked about that?
A what?
A Karen.
We haven't spoke about it, but she's too nice.
That's true.
Like she's too nice, and she is too like oblivious to even be that because like they. Like just being people's business, like you could just be mowing your grass, that really and they'll sit and watch in their window, like that'd be the fuck is this? Yeah, what he do? So she is like forward focused, like she can't like walk and chew gum at the same time. So it's like
I think that might be a Patreon topic, like nosy white people you've told to shut up. That might be a segment.
That's a
for
phenomenal
like people y'all come on. That might be one of our recurring questions.
Yes,
because we've all told a nosy white person at one point to
shut up.
Yeah, like shut up, bro.
Like, I went to a white school with white teachers, so like, come on now, you could get kicked out of Yaks for Twitter. Like you would have been out of there. When we spoke about you not being okay, so another Patreon episode is I'm going to explain Yaks. Yeah. I'm going to I'm gonna try to find somebody that understands it. I might bring Taylor. No, Javante don't understand it. Javante didn't finish. I might bring that might be an episode I bring Taylor on and let y'all meet her and really get to the nitty gritty. Y'all get us to about 300, 400, 500 views. Yeah. We'll start the Patreon. But you know what time it is. Yeah. You know what we do. Boop, so boop, boop. Let's get into some music, man.
Conductor,
we have a problem.
Yes, sir.
But we do not have a problem. We actually have a very, very, very great album from Westside Gunn. I'm going to give the floor for Ish. Ish is a Griselda guy for those of you know that are joining us. I like Griselda. He loves Griselda.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm going to let him start with the Westside Gunn review.
You know, shout out to Griselda, man. Listen to that niche music got me through a while for back when niggas was really broke. But,
come on now.
Man, that album is crazy. And Now You Pray For Me, I love it. Last full-length project from Westside Gunn that he said he'll get of us, like more than 10 tracks, actual album type rollout. He's going to focus on younger artists. But if this is the last one for the foreseeable future, what a way to go out.
Factual.
Amazing. Shout out Hip Hop by the Numbers. They do like the analytical side of the hip hop. He rapped more on this one than he did on 10. Hitler 10. I loved Hitler 10. But he rapped more on this one, and all of it's amazing.
It is.
The features are amazing. The Casey outro is good.
It's really good.
5 Stove God Cooks verses.
Yes.
Go get that. If you have not heard it, go get it. Production's immaculate. Features everything you really want in an album. And I feel like every time we talked about the Griseldas, like let's call them that, the Griseldas, like that little group. We always like talk about you can really feel the effort in the music.
For sure. 1,000,000%.
Like you can feel like on the beats, the mixing, the
intention.
features, everything. Like everything on there, it feels intentional to be an album. And it's one of the staples on the show. Not a lot of people are making albums. And this is a real deal album.
For sure.
Sit down, listening to it in order type of album.
For sure.
Great music everywhere. I really loved it.
What were your 3 favorite features? because there's a lot of them on here, and there's a lot of really good features. So when I was finishing it up today, I wanted to know, like, what were your 3 favorite?
Stove God on Kitchen Lights.
I figured that would be one.
The Casey outro, and I gotta think about the third one. There's so many good ones.
There's third one. So my 3 favorite features on the album were the Stove God on Kitchen Lights, Jid on the second song, and Benny the Butcher on I cannot think of the name of that song, but on it's the third song on the third or fourth song on the album. It's Benny the Butcher's feature, Jid's feature, and the Stove God on Kitchen Lights. Yeah. I think those were actually the 3 best like rapping performances, as features on the album. I really like Jeezy's feature, but Jeezy was like that was more so like a Jeezy bounce. Like I'm Jeezy, y'all. I know like y'all. I'm a legend. I make music. You repeat back to me the concept. Like that's the type verse he gave you. But and Conway's verse on the song with all 3 of them as well. With Benny, it's crazy too. But in my opinion, this album is in the conversation for album of the year, which is not what I was expecting to say when I came out of this. Because Barry luggers. Yeah. Always shout out to Barry. Shout out to Barry. And especially with the Lions. Shout out to Barry. But
not facts.
He up right now. He up for real. Drake, Westside Gunn, and the Lions 5-1. Drake and Michigan undefeated. Barry up right now. Shout out to my dog.
Barry living on a crazy high right now.
But what was I talking about?
My fault. I remember. Jalen Rose. Boldy James.
Oh,
Boldy James on Jalen Rose.
Yes.
Shout out to Boldy.
But the album is very, very like you said, it has an album feel. And Barry said when he came in the group chat, he was like, "This is the album of the year." And I was like, "Barry, come on." I was like, "Chill out." He playing around. Like he do his OVO stuff. Like he playing around.
Right.
I listened to that. I got to song like 12, and I was like, "Oh." I was like, oh, he wasn't joking. Yeah. Because I had heard this stuff. I listened to Kitchen Lights first, and then I listened to the song. I saw Jid's feature, so I listened to that, and then I listened to the song with all of them, which is not my usual listen for an album, but I was really trying to. I knew you was going to listen to this, so I was trying to dive into Offset album for real.
Right.
So I was just jumping around the stuff I knew I would like, and then got into the album. And I love those 3 songs. Yeah. And so then that's when I went back into listen to the album all the way through. Nah, this is special. This is special. The production is the first thing that stands out. Of course, always that's one of the first things that'll stand out on the Westside Gunn album. But and you probably have noticed this quicker than I did, but his flows. Yeah. He is in it. He picks out some of the most unique flows on beats and unique pockets on the beat, and I really do appreciate that. I think if you have a problem with Westside Gunn's voice, which is a critique I see about him often, if you have a problem with that, I advise you just to keep listening, because the more I listen to him, the less squeaky and eerie his voice started to sound. It started to sound normal. And now when I listen to him, it's just like cutting on another rapper. I don't even really hear it.
Ironically enough, I remember when Kendrick first came out, like
yes.
Kendrick had that big problem with his voice too. But 1,000% Westside and Westside in particular, I think has one of the best beat selections we have.
1,000,000%.
And it goes hand in hand for what you're saying, that he can pick an amazing beat, and then he'll even approach it in a way that you did not feel like when the beat came on, that you thought he was going to sound like. He's in so many different pockets. It's really amazing for real.
Yeah, so shout out to Westside Gunn.
Yep.
And Offset, the other album that came out this week. I was excited for this album. I was very, very excited for this album. I saw the enthusiasm behind the rollout for this album from Offset, and it heightened my expectations for the album.
Yeah.
I go into the album expecting really, really good music, a cohesive project, and that is exactly what I got. Yeah. And I was really happy for Offset. Yeah. I was really proud of him for this, because it doesn't sound like the Offset that we came up with.
Right.
It's the growth. And as you know, guys, we are in Atlanta, just in case you don't know that we are in Atlanta. So, I grew up with the Migos from day one till now. So, his growth and from 2012 to now is, my goodness, it is beautiful. The standouts, of course.
What's the name of that Cardi feature? What's the name of that Cardi feature? Because we love Cardi on the show, for real.
Freaky?
Yeah, I think
Freaky. It's freaky.
I think she
is it the one? Is it the single that dropped or the one that the other one?
No, the one that was on the album. Like
freaky,
yeah,
freaky.
Man.
It's crazy. That song is crazy. Say My Grace, second song on the album, ridiculous. Featuring Travis Scott, worth it. Featuring Don Toliver, ridiculous. Broad Day, ridiculous. Fan freaky. He started off the album all the way up into Big Dog. First 10 songs are crazy.
Yep.
I love the Sky Yami song. The flows on this album, Lotto's feature was amazing. Chloe's feature was cool. Nudi's feature was crazy. The song with Nudie is crazy. Blame It No Set, beautiful, healthy. The outro was great. It was a complete album. The only critique I have of this album is, of course, it is a little too long. It's an album solid, but it's 21 songs. I said it's an album solid. It's an hour solid on the dot, but it feels a tad bit too long. Yeah. If I were him and I was the A&R for this album, I would have removed Dissolve and probably Don't You Lie. I would have removed one of those, definitely Dissolve, and one of those songs between Don't You Lie, Bust My Watch. Just something to shorten the album a little bit and use 2 to 3 songs as a deluxe in 2 or 3 weeks. But the beauty in this project is that I do think it will last. I think this music will last through next summer. I think you'll hear the song with Travis through next summer. Both the songs with Cardi, you'll hear through next summer. Fan, you'll hear through next summer. So the first week sales really aren't important to me when looking at the Offset. It's more so about how this album continues to sell throughout the years. And you know how you would every now and then you will see the sales of the top 10 albums from the rap. This is one of those albums where you'll just keep seeing in the top 10 for the next 4 or 5 months.
Facts. And I think what did he do, like 50, 60, 70?
Yeah, about 55, 60K.
Yeah, I didn't think that's really not that bad.
That's what I thought he would be projected to. Like that's what I think his label was expecting.
Yeah, and that's a lot better than the 30. Like the 30 would be something to worry about. 50, 60 super good, especially for like, for your solo stuff. Like it's your second solo album. I really liked it. Glad to hear everything. Like just music wise, he's still progressing. Him and Cardi are still progressing musically together. Like
100%.
I'm not gonna push the Jay-Z Beyonce like make an album thing, but like
we getting there.
If they want to make a little 4-song EP for the summer next year,
it will work. It will work. It will work for sure. I would be very excited about that. I want to talk about something that is kind of normal for him. It reminds me of the Bron 27, 8 and 8, whatever. The Steph Curry shooting, whatever. That's what he do that. But the way Offset, the pockets,
he
the flows, the ability to speed up and but not too much. Like we're not gonna stay in this little flow, this little quick flow for too long. I used to do that, but now I'm gonna just show you this back, and then I'm gonna slow it back down. The enunciation of his words. That's a growth in him. But the thing that his bread and butter and the Migos bread and butter was they changed the way people rapped. Literally. Yeah, 100%. And Offset was a part of that. Takeoff started at RP, but Offset was definitely a part of that change. And to hear the Atlanta and the flows we used to love over perfect production is like roses to your ears.
Truly. Like really the ownership of that. Like, he's the best at it. Like,
that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, it's like, we hear it places, but when Offset do it throughout his album, even though he don't got to do it the entire time, when he gets into the flows, when he switches it, when he changes pockets, you're like, that's why that shit is so crazy. Like, those niggas was really the best at it. So,
and lastly, I would say the album, again, like we just said about Westside Gunn's album, it is an album. Although it is long, it does not feel like a playlist. It does not feel like he just slapped 22 songs together, found Cardi, found Lauda, and threw some songs together. It feels like this album was intentional. The songs flow together. It seems, and I would believe that they sat and figured out a proper track list. The Cardi's features are spaced out, so you sit through the album and you get through them. The Lotto, Cardi, and Chloe features are right next to each other because that's kind of the softer women part of the album. The hyper songs start off the album, so you get the Offset you came for early, so you stick through it's a really, really well thought out project. The art is the cover art, the videos, everything has been great. So just shout out to Offset, bro. Atlanta always wins.
Salute to Offset. And speaking of another Atlanta couple, niggas dropping music together. Thug, Mariah Cyrus.
Yes, sir.
First of all, shout out to Thug and Mariah Cyrus. Let's just, of course, free Thug.
Always. Till it's backwards. That's what
an amazing song to have come out while he's in what he is. But
that song is really good.
The concept and the execution.
Hard.
Man.
Hard.
Crazy, right?
Shout out to them.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Mariah Scientists and shout out to Thug. Thug, if you haven't heard, Thug dropped a new single called From a Man. Amazing. It hurts because I hear where Thug is going. Every time I hear Thug, I hear where he was going with this next album and this next sound. And it hurts me that he wasn't able to complete it because it is like he took what he was great at, kept it, and then brought the punk sound and merged them perfectly. Like he merged his usual self, So Much Fun and punk all together. And we were about to get an album with all those influences. Yeah. And I was really excited for that. So I'm, of course, always free Thug. But yeah, man, incredible song. And shout out to Mariah Sanchez. Her song was really good too. Yeah,
Purple Woman. Go get both of those.
So, football, basketball. Football. We'll end with basketball because we'll end with basketball. Yeah. Bet. All right, so we'll start with college football, and this is just a quick hitter,
right?
And I want you to rank these three quarterbacks: Shedeur Sanders, Caleb Williams, and
Michael Penix.
Yes. My bad, I slipped on his first name.
Drake May too.
Drake May.
So I'm gonna go. Sorry guys, it's still Caleb 1. Sorry. He can throw 6 picks in the half. I don't care. I really don't care. Above me to my... Hold on, let me flip because it'll be on the screen. Oh, yeah. Above me right here should be the stats for their career right here. And it's kind of ridiculous. I think Caleb has 83 touchdowns to like 13 picks for his career.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
That's really silly.
I think Penix might be too, though. I really do. I think so. He's more of... he's a lot more talented as a passer than... I guess you're just used to seeing in college, especially for me because, I'm not, like, super deep into college football. But it feels like quarterbacks in college are better than they ever have been. Like, doing research into Michael Penix, like, this is his 6th year in college.
Yes. Dealt with a lot of injuries.
Yeah. And he plays really...
Mature?
He plays really mature on the field, on the sideline. But he shows you kind of the both sides of the quarterback. And that is... like why I have him second above Drake May, who will be third, and then I have Shedeur fourth, just because I think Shedeur is probably going to stay, and he still has a little room to grow in college before he gets to the NFL. But Penix is one of the best deep ball throws I've seen in early college, but he's also a really good distributor.
Yes,
which you saw too.
Yes,
where if he doesn't need to come out here and make the amazing plays, he will come out. Check down, and just distribute, get to his weapons, and just run the offense.
Which is something you love to see in college.
Exactly. Someone who does not, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to put the cape on every time.
Exactly.
As opposed to someone who you could say like Caleb, where, sometimes he'll feel like he wants to put a cape on. I just threw 2 picks. Let me roll out left, try to throw across my body. He's more of the other side. 3, I would have, Drake May. We joke a lot about it, but, he played with North Carolina. So... I don't want to be that guy.
I got to see.
I don't want to be that guy, but Jerry's out for real.
I got to see.
Jerry's out. Nice arm. Good kid.
Really nice arm.
Looks like a cool guy, but, Jerry's out. And Shedeur. I think Shedeur is really right there. I don't think he'll come out of this class just because how deep this class is and how good Colorado will be next year
100%.
As opposed to this year. But just as a prospect, he would definitely be above Drake May.
I think so, too. So... your list is my list, except for Caleb and Penix are both at 1. They're 1A, 1B staggered. I don't think it's a big enough drop off in between either one of them to really flip them. But I have Shedeur at 3, and I have and Drake May at 4. And the reason I have Shedeur at 3 is because I think Shedeur has everything that you want out of an NFL quarterback. The only thing is he has to get the ball out of his hands. But I think part of the reason he does not get the ball out of his hands is because he is waiting for receivers to come open that should come open and trusting his offensive line where he couldn't when he shouldn't be. Right. That's one. Second, I think he knows he has to score a lot of points and he plays a lot of hero ball thinking he has to be the guy to do it. You're not going to feel that need in the NFL as much, and if you do, your coaches will reel you back in very fast. Yeah. But as you said, I think by the time he comes out, that won't be as part of his game as much because of next year, a full off season with your offensive coordinator, another couple sessions with Brady, watching film with Brady, watching the film on your own, you'll see that you're holding the ball too long. And I will say, I have watched every snap of Shador, most of Caleb's snap, and I've watched most of Penix snaps. Shador has gotten better all year.
Yeah.
I would say the same about Caleb and Penix, but they was like A+ college quarterbacks already.
Yeah,
but you see the improvement and you see the growth with Shador. I think he has been trying to get the ball out faster. When you find yourself under pressure, you find yourself trying to play hero ball, you do resort to your habits. So sometimes you'll see him late in games hold the ball too long, like he did against Stanford. That's why their offense started to stall out. Was one, they couldn't run the ball, and two, when he was so worried about them coming back, he was trying to play hero ball, started holding the ball on too long. But that would be my order. But if I'm drafting, there's no way I'm passing up on Caleb. Penix. No. That is what I will say. If I'm drafting that number 1 pick, I'm taking Caleb no matter what, because I do think he has the highest upside.
I felt so bad, because I'm such a big Caleb guy. He threw 3 picks in 30 minutes, and people were just my friends were so mad. I wasn't mad at him. It's real. I swear, it's nothing he could do. He could not complete a pass the rest of the season. I take him one. Some of the stuff I see on film, it's just bruh.
You can't teach that.
It's some stuff. You play quarterback. Quarterback. He's running the RPO slant, throwing the fade away. He's fading away on the release. Oh yeah, that's a touchdown. People, you don't do that in competition sports, bro. That's some shit you do outside with your homies. You throw it and turn around. Oh yeah, that's a touchdown. He's throwing it and celebrating on looking to the sideline.
Yeah, on some Steph Curry shit.
Yeah, it's just something you just can't teach for real. I really like Penix though. This is a really, really, really good QB class.
It's a really good quarterback class, and next year's quarterback class will be pretty good too. So, but you do think Shador staying?
I think Shador staying. Yeah,
I do as well.
Yeah.
And on Drake May, that's just sad, bro. He played in North Carolina, bro. I gotta see it. We saw Mr. Trubisky.
We see that guy.
ACC quarterbacks has been 2, and they both come from the same school under the same coach, and they were both the number 1 prospect coming out of high school. So it's
I hate to be that guy.
I can't believe it till I see it, bro. I'm truly, and I'm the quarterback guy. I'm not the biggest college football guy, but I do my research, I do my film studies on the quarterbacks because it's one of my favorite positions in quarterbacks. Favorite positions in sports, just to be involved in and understand. Yeah. So I really do understand this quarterback, and I know what an NFL quarterback looks like, and I know in college what makes a college quarterback NFL ready. Yeah. And I just don't think Drake May is getting the reps he needs to and the reps he needs to be great. I think Caleb is first off, he is way more talented. He's in a offense with a coach that is known for producing really good NFL quarterbacks, or at least very competent NFL quarterbacks, and I think he's more talented than Baker Mayfield. So I think, and you see Baker got back on track. So I have a really high upside for Caleb and Penix though. Yeah. I think both of them are going to be some dogs for the next 15 years. So before we dive into all of the ugly football, we'll just start with what we saw last night. You guys will probably be watching this on Wednesday, Thursday. So Monday night, it is Tuesday for us. Monday night, Dallas and the Chargers.
I only needed 4 touchdowns from Tony Pollard to win my fantasy.
So close.
Fam, you should have seen what I threw across the room when he got tackled on that pass.
Oh my God.
I was so mad. But Dallas Chargers, the mid bowl, whatever you want to call it, Monday
we supposed
night.
To win game.
Yeah,
we supposed to win a championship game.
Right.
That's who these two teams are.
This is a Madden Bowl for real.
Yeah,
this really the Madden Bowl.
Facts.
The hypothetical teams.
If you sim a Madden season.
Yeah.
Facts.
Listen, sorry, Roby, you're not gonna like this this one too much, but I'll start with the question because we didn't write a question up there. Does Herbert know?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why he's so quiet.
Yeah, you see it. Okay,
I've been telling you.
That's true. Listen, you've been 100% on it for a while.
I'm telling
like, bruh.
I saw that from day one. Yeah, he knows. That's why he's so quiet.
Listen,
he don't got no confidence in himself. He got confidence in himself. Let me not be dramatic, but like he don't got the type of confidence in yourself that you need to go be an NFL quarterback and be in the moments and know that Brady mode that Shador was talking about. He don't got that. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have that, you can't win at a high level in this league. So which is why, like we've been saying, he will continue to be Matt Ryan until something in him clicks and realizes, yo, I'm that guy. I'm more talented than anybody out here. I'm the best quarterback in the NFL. Feel that way, believe you that, and go out there and play like that. Right now, he's not doing that.
I've never, like, really, I think we're 54 games into Justin Herbert's career. I don't know if I've ever watched a quarterback this confusing, because his rookie year, he was a top 5, 6, 7 QB, right? And he has not improved at all in any way since then. Like, he's literally the same guy. And that what's so complicated about it is it sounds good. Like, if you come in the league a top 5, 6 person at your position, and you're that your whole career, it's like, yeah, that's amazing. And that is really good. But Herbert's not about to get really good money. Like, the weapons you've had, like the weapons he started his career with in the first 54 games, I would defy you listening to find me a quarterback that came into a better roster situation.
Thank you.
With
maybe Patrick Mahomes, but that was his second year.
Yeah, and even his rosters had terrible defenses.
Facts.
Chargers had terrible defenses, but listen, you got all pros everywhere. You got skill positions. You have Hall of Famers literally everywhere on that team. Mm-hmm. Keenan Allen may not make it. Khalil Mack for sure will.
Mm-hmm. Joey Bosa's on
Joey
track.
Bosa,
he's on track.
Derwin, maybe. Like, it is some crazy people he's played on this team with. And I don't want to, we're going to talk about Dak in a second because it's funny how they kind of parallel each other. But I think it's time we stop expecting things from Justin Herbert we haven't seen.
Thank you.
And I think that's where we are in his career, where, like, especially in players, we need to work in lanes where you're early in your career. Okay, we're going to put expectations on you. Oh, you might be this. You might do this. Once you get a couple years in and you haven't shown any sign of it, okay, maybe you're just this guy. And that's cool. Matt Ryan won an MVP, got to a Super Bowl. Almost won a Super Bowl. Matt Ryan is a blocked defensive end from a Super Bowl, from a year where he won the MVP, had the highest scoring offense, and beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. Like, he's literally that close. You can win with Justin Herbert. You can win championships with Justin Herbert.
You can win a championship with Justin Herbert.
Yeah, you can definitely win a championship with Justin Herbert. But the conversations he's in, we got to temper back. That Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, Lamar conversation, one of them names not like the other. And we haven't seen it from Herbert. We haven't seen the postseason success. We haven't seen any, like, all right, if you got to give me one. You got to give me something to work with. If you're not going to give me the big moments, the postseason success, like I don't want to say aura, like the aura stuff with Joe Burrow, like the stuff like that where, it matters. Okay, you can slip through the regular season, but Joe Burrow come playoff time, pack a lunch, that type, okay. Well, give me an elite regular season. Mm-hmm. Give me a Lamar MVP season. Give me a Jalen Hurts 15-2 season, whatever they were last year. Mm-hmm. You had neither. Mm-hmm. You haven't won a division because the best player ever is in your division, so you're not going to do that. And the postseason, you just blew a 4-score lead to Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, who right now not even a good team. So it's time for us to stop. I don't want to call him the Brandon Ingram of the NFL, but like, we got to stop saying he's going to be KD.
Thank you.
He's going to be Justin Herbert.
He's going to be Justin Herbert until we see something different. Exactly. I agree with everything you said. No need to add anything.
Now the other side of the ball, I'm going to let you go ahead. Talk about what's going on in Dallas.
So in Dallas, and they've been on primetime TV every single week, so I'm sure you've seen them play. But defense, I think they missed Trayvon Diggs more than you thought you would. Yeah. But that pass defense has taken a huge hit. So I do think that will be a problem for them in the future, but I do not think it matters too much because I think the offense is going to continue to be way more of a problem because Mike McCarthy does not trust Dak. Yeah. And it is simple as that. He calls plays like he doesn't trust Dak. At the end of the half, you saw he doesn't trust Dak. He looks like he doesn't trust Dak by his body language on the sideline. Simple as that. You saw what Dak did last year when he was turnover prone. When you saw the rate, if he threw over 30 passes, you pretty much guaranteed an interception. And it seems like Mike McCarthy read that and was like, well, shit.
I mean, yo, like.
Ain't going to happen to me.
Dead ass, bro. Like,
so
for real.
It seems like he put the training wheels on the offense, and they believe their defense is good enough to where they can score 24 points or less, 17 to 24 points and win the game. Yeah. That's how they look like they feel. Mm-hmm. And as long as they treat Dak in that way, they will not win anything. They won't beat Detroit. I'll start with Detroit. Forget the Eagles in San Francisco. You're not touching them. Yeah. You're not beating Detroit like that.
Not scoring that many. Not scoring like because you're not gonna stop them.
You're not going to stop Detroit.
Shout out Ben Johnson. We're going to talk about y'all more.
You're not going to stop Detroit. Yeah. And Detroit's defense is playing lights out this year.
Yep.
So if you're not going to take their training wheels off of Dak, if you're not going to start treating CeeDee Lamb like he is the number one receiver and giving him 13 to 15 targets a game, if you're not going to do those things, then you're just setting yourself up for another season that we know that's going to end like a first-round exit.
The thing with Dallas is, and this is what's concerning for me, is okay. So like the last couple years, well, whenever Micah got there, it was Micah's team day one. He's the best player. Clearly, we're gonna win through our defense. But they did still have an identity on offense at least.
100.
With Kellen Moore, we were either going to run the ball or we were going to score a lot of points. We were going to pass the ball. We're going to do a lot of different things. And everything you said about Mike McCarthy not trusting Dak is 100% correct. And you know me, I hate Mike McCarthy. Mm-hmm. But I really thought about something that changed my perspective on it. It was like, man, Mike McCarthy had Aaron Rodgers throwing bombs to Jordy Nelson. Yeah. And whether Aaron Rodgers was calling those plays or not, those were still Mike McCarthy plays.
Right.
And everything goes through the head coach. Mm-hmm. And to see the complete opposite out of the Cowboys offense, it's kind of it's kind of startling.
100. Yeah.
Like Dak is 30 something. Dak is in the league a long time.
It makes me think, like, what is he doing in practice for you to feel this way?
And what it really hit me because I watched every snap of the Houston Texans game. Mm-hmm. And I watched how C.J. Stroud is getting handled compared to Dak. And it's night and day. Where a rookie, he's played 4 games, has more responsibility on his shoulders than Dak. They do not believe Dak is the guy. It leaves the door open because Dak is going to be gone out of Dallas soon. Of course, I hate to talk about it, but hey, you can get your bag. You can be all right. But
you're a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. You good forever.
Facts. But you can tell they have no faith in that offense.
100. Yeah, for sure.
Do you think that 49ers game broke them?
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think they realize that's what they got to get to, and I don't think they can.
Yeah.
I think a couple of people in that locker room do, but that coaching staff, I don't know. Nah. I don't know if Mike McCarthy believes he can beat them. Nah. I don't know what that defense was, what that defense has the potential to grow into be as it gets better throughout the season. I just think they know that can't beat them. Yeah, no. We can't, because we're going to have to score points, and we're not going to stop them. You're not stopping San Francisco. So we're going to have to put up 30. We're going to have to put up 35, and I don't think Dak can do that.
That is,
and it looks like they feel that.
I feel so bad for Dak. Because, like, if Dak was, well, I can't say if Dak was in the AFC, but, like, that 49ers defense is just such a bad matchup for him.
And so is the Eagles. The Eagles defense is awful, too.
That's a fact.
That pass rush on the Eagles is ridiculous.
And that's the thing, and I hate, injuries play a part in everybody's career, but, he like Big Ben out there. Like, Dak don't be like, he was trying, bro. He was really trying.
It looked like it hurt him to run.
Dog, and he can't move, bro. He's really lumbering. I really don't know what's up. I don't know what's next for Dallas. Before the year, I did say Dallas was going to struggle. Y'all ain't like that. But, hey,
Y'all did not like that in them comments. How's Dallas going to struggle?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Go ahead. It's gonna be a real cold winter in Dallas, bro.
I said, bro, we've seen this before. Like, why are you acting like Dallas ain't never had a good roster before? Like,
really?
Like, but ugly game yesterday, and it just completed a very ugly week in football. And this is just some quick hitters before we get to the very ugly performance from the 49ers. But did you? I'll start because the question is like, what ugly football did you see? Yeah. And mine are just like uncharacteristic shit from a team. And mine is out in Cincinnati in that Seattle Bengals game.
Oh yeah, the end.
Yo,
yeah,
Gino, what's up, bruh?
Throw the ball, dude.
Throw the ball.
Throw the ball, dude. Yeah.
I believe they were on the 7 and got no points, got on the 9, got no points, on the 11 and got 3 points, and on like the 15 and got no points. Like they had 4 drives in the red zone back to back to back to back and came away with 3 points. It made no sense why Pete Carroll on the second to last drive did not kick the field goal. He went for it on like 4th and 3, 4th and 4. They didn't get it. If you would have kicked the field goal, you would have been down 1. Their offense could not move the ball from the second quarter for the rest of the game. They could not move the ball. They got 1 field goal after their first 2 opening drive touchdowns. They got 1 field goal the rest of the day. So trust your defense to not be able to drive down the field, and your offense was moving the ball. You just couldn't punch it in. So just kick the back-to-back field goals. That was disgusting. Terrible coaching decision. But Gino, at the end of the game, all 4 fourth downs that they didn't convert, he held the ball to him. He got sacked on all of them. Yeah. Like, what are you looking at? It's the last play of the game, and you get sacked, bro. Like, and it's not like a all-out blitz, and it was like he tried to throw it in. Right. No, it was like 4-man rush, and you counted 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Get out, roll out. It's the end of the game. Yeah. Let's try to play backyard football. Let's try to make a play. He's just standing in the pocket like he got off, like he in the 7-on-7.
Like, you got to give him a chance.
You got to give somebody a chance. You got a 6'5" receiver out there. Like, give somebody a chance. Yeah, DK looked disinterested in that game.
DK was mad as hell.
He was mad as hell that whole game. I'm not sure what that was about, but he did not look happy at the end of the game, that whole game. But very uncharacteristic. But other than that, Gino played well. Like, Gino had, that's what was so frustrating. It's like
you played a great game.
From the 25 to the 25, you a top 10 quarterback, and you get in this red zone, and you just lose your fucking mind. But what did you see from this weekend that was like, what is going on? Besides, like, the start, like, the Eagles game was disgusting. The 49ers game was disgusting. Like,
okay, all right, let's do the Eagles first. Let's do the Eagles first. We're gonna do this. I know we're gonna do the 49ers. Okay, let's do the Birds. Let's do the Eagles, and let's do the Falcons. So Eagles, and I want to pose this question to you and to the audience. And this is not a question we're going to have answered this week. This is one that we're going to have to just, sit and let it play out.
We'll save the files.
Yeah. How do we know Nick Sirianni is a good coach?
He got to a Super Bowl. That's my answer. That is my answer, is he got to a Super Bowl.
That's fair.
And secondly, Jalen Hurts looked like a completely different player with him.
See, I agree, but lost both coordinators. And this team looks... So that is the reason I really think that first year, and this, I don't want to sound unfair or like overreact over like the first couple weeks, but especially now, like we talked about how important coordinators are, and they had 2 extremely good coordinators. Mm-hmm. 2 coordinators, both coaches now, amazing. He didn't call plays on offense. He didn't call plays on defense. And the decision making, and of course, when you have these type of coordinators and you have this brain trust, you don't make decisions by yourself. Like, it's not mad. Like, for the people at home, like, that think the coach make every single decision, he does, but there are people talking to him. Yeah. People give him situation, time, scores, all that stuff. And Nick Sirianni this year, I just feel like I have not seen any good signs that he's taking over, especially as the head coach. Okay. Like, you were an offensive guy that, like, you were going to call plays, you were going to do all that stuff when we first, and then you took a step back to not do that. And now you got to take your points. You got the best defense, best D-line. To lose to the Jets, like, bro, take your points, kick the ball to Zach Wilson with no timeout against the best defense in the league, and say, go beat us. Like, what? You're getting in your way. But
and that's why I can't say not a good coach yet, because...
Oh, yeah. See, so and listen, I don't Eagles Nation, shout out to Eagles Nation, shout out Alex. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. I'm not gonna say he's a bad coach yet, but do we know?
The signs are there.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Like, are we sure?
I can respect that. I can respect that. The third and fourth down don't bother me as much because, dog, like, I understand running the ball on third down, running your quarterback sneak, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But, like, Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
A.J. Brown is Jalen Brown.
That's fair.
Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, like, you have the offense to be able to drop back and trust your quarterback to throw the ball.
Facts.
So it's like, I'm not going to kill him for trusting one of the best offenses in football to get 8 yards.
Right.
Like, I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah.
So should they have lost that game? Absolutely not. But, hey, 7 teams lost this weekend. That's a fact. So it's like, it happens. Yeah. This is the hardest sport in the world. It's the hardest sport to win consistently in. Yeah. Like, you lost the game you shouldn't have. Get back on track. And
listen, the
Miami, y'all better be ready to play next week because they're going to be ready to play next week.
The champion of this sport every year loses like 4 or 5 games. Like, it's no perfect teams. Shout out to the Dolphins from like 1800 who won 7 games. Like, there's no perfect teams, bro. But on to the other birds, and God, I can't talk about them for too long. It's gonna make me sick. I'm gonna get mad. Niggas gonna be in my comments. Chris gonna be
rise up.
I have never like real talk. What's the last offense you saw that looked worse than that? Maybe not production wise. I just visually unappealing offense.
Shit.
They play like Georgia Tech. They play like Army, Navy. It is the most frustrating thing in the world. And what I can't understand from the bottom of my heart, this really just an Arthur Smith rant. I don't know this nigga is stubborn or like he got something to prove. But the I'm not going to give my best players the ball thing getting kind of old, bro. Like there's plays where Tyler Algier is like, man, 12-yard carry, good carry, behind score. Like at the end of the game, you had 4 possessions, down 1. Like you could have had 4 game-winning drives. You couldn't score any. And the worst thing is like, bruh, you don't got somebody back there that's going to do it for you. You don't got somebody back there that's going to make it out of nothing. Like if the play is not there, God bless Desmond Ridder. He's just not there yet. If he'll ever be there or if he'll ever be that guy has remained to be seen. But like he is a quarterback that things need to be done right. People need to be in the right spots. People need to be open. He needs to be, he don't need to be getting hit. And this offense is completely the opposite.
In my opinion, it looks like Arthur Smith is making his job harder to prove a point that doesn't need to be proven. Yeah. And they're not giving your best players the football. There's no reason Drake London shouldn't be getting 10, 15 targets a game, 10, 12 targets a game. Bro. He's a dog. He's huge.
And listen, to his credit, he feel like he catch everything.
Thank you.
It feel like if you really give him that chance, bro, he gonna give you all you got, bro.
If you're on that offense with that quarterback, if you're going to drop back 30 to 35 times, there's no reason Drake London and Kyle Pitts shouldn't have 45% of those targets. Right. There's no reason.
God bless Jonnu Smith. Why is Jonnu Smith fumbling the ball?
And I'll throw Behan in there and say they should have 62% of the target. Right. But yes, why is Jonnu Smith fumbling the ball? Because why does Jonnu Smith have the ball? Why is Jonnu Smith getting 6, 7 targets every game? Why are you running plays? Run plays for your best players to get the ball. Yeah. Why is that so complicated? Why are you acting like you're some mad genius because you got Behan run a loopy motion? Who give a fuck, dog? No, everybody know he can't throw. Everybody know he is limited. Yeah. It's a couple routes he can throw. It has to be perfect. It has to be on time. He can't throw the whole route tree. Your receivers can't run the whole route tree. It's a very limited offense because of the quarterback you chose. Because remember, we are not interested in Lamar Jackson.
Listen, I might have to put that at the bottom. So in hindsight, fam, this offense with Lamar, dude.
Disgusting. And I was saying that all offseason that the Falcons were a quarterback away. That defense is a championship-level defense. It is very, very frustrating to sit and watch them waste this talent because they're going to be stuck in purgatory like a lot of NFL teams, like the Saints are, like the Chargers seem to be. Yeah. Like they're going to be stuck in purgatory where you have this C-plus quarterback who can't win you any big games, but this A-plus roster that can win you big games, but a stubborn coach and a stubborn GM who won't get rid of a quarterback. Desmond Ridder does not need to finish out the season as your starting quarterback. If he does, and y'all want to just waste your season away and waste your talent away, then you're never going to get another free agent. Jesse Bates came there, left Cincinnati, left a very good situation to come down here, put faith in y'all. Calais Campbell came over from Baltimore, another very good situation. Put faith in y'all. Y'all don't reward these players, this defense, these running backs, these receivers with a quarterback that is adequate and can play. You're going to lose your locker room, bro. You're going to.
So this is my thing. This is my thing. And when you were saying that, I was like, man, he's so right. What team is that? And then it clicked. It's just the Tennessee Titans, bro. It's the Tennessee Titans, bro. You hired the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator. Now you're the Tennessee Titans. You got what you paid for. You're an okay regular season team with a very nasty scheme. You can win a couple games. And listen, God bless
really
Behan.
good defense.
I love Behan to death. He not Derrick Henry. I'm sorry. And the thing, and then what's so frustrating is, even if he was, we wouldn't know. You don't give him the carries. You don't give him the carries to find out. Like, why is he splitting carries, bro? Why is he splitting carries? It's so frustrating.
And if you're going to have him split carries, why is he not getting 15 carries and 7 receptions every game?
Yeah.
So he's getting 20-something touches every game. Why is it 8 catches and 12? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And if he's splitting carries, I'd rather the breather split, right? Where if it's a long drive and we got to run a series with Algier or a couple series or, 3 plays here, Behan come in, couple plays here, that's one thing. Why do we have Tyler Algier specific plays in the playbook?
When why are you using him as a decoy, bro? Give him the ball. Yeah. It's the NFL, bro. Yeah. That little reverse what-to-do motion, nobody give a fuck about, dog. That's not Tyreek Hill. Unless you, I don't know if you saw Mike McDaniel was like, I'm gonna run a lot of motion today with bro. Like, unless you're Tyreek Hill and you run a 1-2 in the 40, dog, that motion don't mean that much. We know you're not finna run a triple reverse, dog. You just handing the ball off.
And the thing is, like with the Mike McDaniel motion, the difference is Tua can pass the ball to any of those niggas on that play. Ritter cannot.
Physically.
He literally cannot pass it to all those options on the play. You have to cut the field in half for Ritter. Like a running back.
Can you explain what cutting the field in half means?
Oh yeah. So for quarterbacks, if you cannot process, I don't want to say process. If you cannot read the whole field quick enough, whether it be footwork concerns, arm talent, you don't read the game fast enough, you don't know the defense, whatever the case may be, the plays are literally cut in half. Where you're still going to have stuff on the other side, you're still going to have players on the other side, because of course you don't want the defense to just guard one side. But he's knowing at the start of the play, it's 1-2 check down out on one side. So you're trying to protect him. But the problem is, when you put these training wheels on him, other teams are seeing it too. Early in the season, and this is what listen, I'm going to have to clip it, especially because we have everything so archived perfectly now. Early in the season, I said the worst thing y'all niggas could do is come out and win a couple of these games. Because early in the season, when they don't have film on you and they don't know how bad Desmond really is, it'll be a little easier to play. You're going to score a little more points, and you may have
You got the talent and defense to win.
But now, and you saw this when he threw those 2 picks in 30 seconds, it looks like for the niggas at home watching, it's looking like he's staring down receivers. He's not. The read is just one side of the field. So he has to look that way, and defenses are jumping it now. Defenses at the start of the play, go watch the film. It's eye-opening. The play starts, they're not backpedaling. Why would you? The play is starting, and the defense is standing there or stepping up. And everything, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy that Snake is eating itself. You're making, like Daniel said, you're making it harder for yourself, trying to prove a point to I don't know who. Nobody thinks he's an offensive genius. Nobody thinks Arthur Smith is one of those guys. I've never heard Arthur Smith's name brought up in any elite play caller discussion, for good reason too. Because with this type of talent, it is just unacceptable. It's unacceptable macro-wise. Like if I were what's their older name? I'm tweaking. Arthur Blank. Oh. If I'm Arthur Blank, bro.
I was tweaking too. What is his name?
If I'm Arthur Blank, in the last 3 drafts, we went offense early and reached on 2 of those picks, and we can't score the ball, that's a problem. That's a problem, bro. Bro, in 3 drafts, you have the highest drafted tight end ever. Gronk came out. Travis Kelce. Any tight end. Shannon Sharp. Tony Gonzalez. Any tight end you want to list. Shout out Brock Bowers. Speedy recovery. He just got hurt. Brock Bowers might not go for it. And Brock damn sure better than Kyle Pitts was at Florida. And he may not go for it. You reach for him. Then you reach for Drake London, who is, and to his credit, has balled out. And you can't score? Like, that should be the last thing y'all are worried about.
Because the Drake London pick I was down on, I forgive him.
That's a fact.
Totally. I forgive him totally. Drake London, a dog.
Like,
I like Drake London a lot.
And you notice, I can't even be mad at Kyle Pitts too much either.
He know he ain't getting the ball.
And Kyle Pitts off the ACL, credit to him, bro. He not as shifty as it used to be. That's how it go. But, like, bro, he can't throw it to him. He can't throw it and catch it, bro. He can't do everything. I really feel bad. I really feel bad for the Falcons because you just like their fans just finished doing this.
Yeah,
y'all were 8-8. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that, right? Like y'all remember 2016, and then everything after that not being 500 ever again. Like that is where you're headed. Where you better hit one of these years. And I don't know if this is, we'll try Ritter out for a year. If he's not that, we'll move off, start over. But clock's ticking.
All right. So you heard it here first.
Yeah.
You heard it here. Oh, you don't know what I'm about to say.
Oh, true.
Because I just thought about it. I didn't know I was going to say this until 2 seconds ago.
Oh,
but I just thought about it. Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah.
You're an Atlanta Falcon.
Oh, yeah. I like it. I like it a lot.
Dak Prescott. If the Falcons do not trade up and get a quarterback in next year's draft, Dak Prescott will be the quarterback. He is the only quarterback on the market that will hit free agency, and he is the only quarterback, really good quarterback, a B+ or higher quarterback that will hit the free agency market. And because of that, I think the Atlanta Falcons will pay and can pay what he deserves and what he is worth, and they should and they will do that, and that will be a 10-11 win football team. I think part of the reason Dak does struggle is because of the bright lights with the Cowboys. I think he knows the pressure. In Atlanta, all that's gone. Nobody care. Nobody care about you, about the Falcons fans. Dak Prescott, you're an Atlanta Falcon.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna give Kirk Cousins $160 million.
So I was gonna say and Kirk Cousins, but I was in a good rant. So I was like, let me just say Cousins after all. It should bring
No. They're gonna pay the corpse of Kirk Cousins. Like
it's gonna be Kurt or Dak. Yeah, it's gonna be Kurt or Dak for sure.
But it's gonna be old Kirk. That's gonna be the problem. They're gonna wait too late, and he's gonna be trash.
But it's sleeper.
Yeah.
And if they do this, they Super Bowl contenders. And I don't know if you'll agree with this because I don't know if you're as high on him as I am though. But Kyler Murray. Watch out for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I like Kyler Murray a lot. I think Kyler Murray became underrated because he kind of, bad teammate and all that. Yeah. But I think amazing arm, very athletic. Yeah. Him with behind and being able to extend plays, with Drake London being a real deep threat, real jump ball threat. I think Kyler Murray is somebody that it should look out. But Atlanta will be in the quarterback sweepstakes, and if they can get a B+ quarterback, they'll be in contention next year.
Yeah.
So the question of the week in NFL, the question of the year, really, the best team in football has a quarterback.
Yeah.
And that quarterback is Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft, went to Iowa State, played all 4 years. He doesn't look like an elite quarterback. He doesn't give the aura off of an elite quarterback. He doesn't have the swag of an elite quarterback. Right. So I asked Ish, is Brock Purdy elite or is he a product of Shanahan?
Brock, I really hate it had to be you for real. Because last week this was a conversation too for real. It was like, man, he just ripped his San Fran defense apart. Is he really they was writing articles like, is he Tom Brady? Is he Joe Montana? Is he John Elway, Steve Young? Man, when CMC jogged into that locker room and Debo couldn't come back, I saw what I needed to see. And listen, Purdy, I'm sorry. It's not your fault for real. You didn't put yourself on this pedestal. But he's just he's just a guy, bro. He's a good quarterback. He makes good reads. He has solid fundamentals. He can make great. He can make all. He's a prototypical Kyle Shanahan quarterback. Mm-hmm. I would say he's a lesser Matt Ryan or just a regular pocket passer who things are going right, looks great. Mm-hmm. I think he's a lot closer to Kirk Cousins than he is Joe Burrow. Mm-hmm. And that was the problem people were having where niggas was like, man, you got to look at the numbers. It's like, all right. So he's top 3 in the league. And the people be like, whoa, no, he's not that. It was like, okay, it's one or the other. You can't tell me, look at his numbers, he never loses. Okay, he's good. No. If we looking at the numbers, he's the second best quarterback alive. But we know he's not that. And when Bro went down, and of course, shout out to the Browns defense. Really great defense.
The best defense in football, actually, right now. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Shout out to the Browns.
Shout out to the Browns.
And Deshaun Watson.
Shout out to Sean. Hey. Calling out of work fully guaranteed. That's my type of
He stole my bag, boy.
I'm telling you, that's my bag, bro.
Stole my bag, boy. But I'm not stealing yours, though.
Nasty ass. No, you got it, bro. That's your bag for real. But I forget the number, bro. I think he completed 3 passes before that last drive after they went out. Like the whole game, you completed 3 passes. And even the last drive.
It was the second half. He completed
the second half. Mm-hmm. And like, bro, the last drive, everybody's like, man, he led them down the field, fam. That nigga threw an out route to Ayuk and 3 Browns stopped, rallied, and didn't tackle him. That's literally all it was. They broke down to make the tackle and just nobody did. It was like when you trying to walk through the hallway and everybody's like, yeah, you do it. You do it. Like, it was literally that. He played awful the entire game after the MVP, possibly best player in the league other than Mahomes, went out. Shout out Christian McCaffrey, who I think he scored their own. Was that their only touchdown? I know it was Brock's only touchdown.
Yeah, it was their only touchdown, I believe.
Yeah, the 49ers didn't deserve to win that game. And Brock Purdy is not an elite quarterback. And that's okay. Niggas, I was calling him elite, top 10, top 5, best quarterback in the NFC, all that. Let's cut it out. What's so frustrating for me is we've seen this movie before. Like, how many times do we have to see it? Like, how many times do we have to repeat especially on this show, we repeat the list all the time. RG3, Rookie of the Year. Matt Schaub, Pro Bowler. Matt Ryan, MVP and Super Bowl. Jimmy G, NFC Championship, Super Bowl. He's a tip pass away from a Super Bowl champion. And now Brock Purdy. He's just another guy in the... Like, Kyle Shanahan is who Arthur Smith think he called plays like. Kyle Shanahan really that dude. Where if you're an okay quarterback, good fundamentals, you can make the read, we might be able to win a Super Bowl with you because everything around you is going to be that good. But Brock Purdy's not the guy where, dang, Travis Kelce out. Dang, Tyreek Hill out. Dang, Stephon Diggs can't play. All right, we be all right. No. He is not that guy. He is, Chris McCaffrey out. All right, we're going to throw 9 screens this quarter. Like, I got to get the ball out his hands because it's just not there.
Okay. So, I hear you and I understand you, but I have a different perspective to come from.
Okay.
So, since Brock Purdy took over, they are 13-1. Right. Up until 2 days ago, they were 13-0. Mm-hmm. The only game that they lost when Brock Purdy started was a game he did not finish. So, every game he started and finished, they were 13-0. In that 13 games, he has 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he doesn't turn the ball over. Last week, he threw his first interception. Last week, they played in the rain. Mm-hmm. I don't want that to go under the radar and how hard it is to throw and play in the rain. They played the best defense in football so far statistically. Mm-hmm. And he lost his 2 best offensive weapons.
Facts.
So I asked the question, is Brock Purdy elite? And the first elite quarterback you think of is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And in this conversation, we're going to take Mahomes and we're going to throw him as far away as from this conversation as we can because nobody is Mahomes. Yeah. Nobody is on his level, not Joe Burrow, not Josh Allen, not Jalen Hurts, not Lamar Jackson. Right. Nobody is on the mountain Mahomes is in until further notice.
Yeah, nobody knows what the air on that mountain tastes like.
Exactly. Like if you know when you draw like the little squiggly line mountains, there's always one of the highest. That's one mountain Mahomes is on. The rest of them on this other one, a little bit below him. So now when I'm looking at the other elite quarterbacks, and I'm talking Jalen Hurts, I'm talking Josh Allen. I'm talking Lamar Jackson. I'm talking Justin Herbert. Those are Joe Burrow, of course. We throw those guys in there as elite. Brock Purdy, as a quarterback, he doesn't turn the ball over, ever. He is accurate. We just spoke about how Desmond Ridder cannot throw every route on the passing tree. Brock Purdy can. He can throw the deep ball. He can throw the intermediate. He will throw the shallow route. He will take what is open every single play.
Right.
He runs what is called, and he executes almost to perfection.
Facts.
Since he has been playing, he is also leading all quarterbacks in passer rating. And I say all that to say that's elite football. And I know it doesn't look like it. And I know he don't look like an elite quarterback. And his zip on the ball doesn't seem as an elite quarterback. But if you have only had elite production, elite numbers, and elite touchdown to interception ratio, I can only say,
right,
yo, you're an elite. I can say, yes, you're an elite with an asterisk beside it. Of course there's an asterisk beside it. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But I am willing to sit and say, hey, maybe he is. Right. Because I'm looking at Josh Allen, and Josh Allen, anybody watching this, unless you don't know football, if you don't know football, you're watching this, shout out to you. But if you know football, you're watching this, you know Josh Allen is an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
But he is inconsistent.
Facts.
And he is turnover prone.
True.
Justin Herbert, he is a bad leader. He cannot win in the clutch. Miami couldn't get a field goal.
True.
Tennessee, 3-and-out on overtime, lost the game. Last night, couldn't get a field goal.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, worst game of his career, walks right down, gets a field goal.
That's true.
So these elite quarterbacks have these flaws that Brock Purdy doesn't have. And what have we seen Brock Purdy's flaw be? We haven't seen one. So now I'm asking you, if Josh Allen is on San Francisco,
right,
and he's 13-0 in his last 13, he's at 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, we're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert, oh my God. Jalen Hurts, oh my God. But because Brock Purdy is in 6'4" and 220 and don't got a little bit more zip on his ball, we can't say he's elite.
Okay.
And now, as I said, there is an asterisk on that. Because we have to see the rest of the season play out. And we have to see him come playoff time against an elite defense in playoff time after 17 games of film, last year's film. We have to see it. But for right now, I say yes with an asterisk because he hasn't given me any reason to believe he's not, other than he's short.
Okay. I think it's fair to say this is his first one. But I will also say if he's elite, that can't happen. 89 yards the entire game.
100%.
Can't happen.
If that happens 2 times, 3 more times this year, over with.
Yeah, because the names we listed, because listen, that Browns defense is amazing. You know, Lamar gave him 2 touchdowns, crazy work, gave him the dunk, 27 points. You know, without George Kittle, without Trent Williams, because I know that, CMC was out, Debo was out, Deshaun Watson was out, Nick Chubb didn't play. Like, he got outplayed by a backup quarterback.
He did.
And the San Fran, the thing with San Fran that was so it kind of jumped out was they still had all pros on the field. Like George Kittle was still on the field. Trent Williams eventually came back. I don't know if Trent Williams is back 100%, but I think it's fair to say let's give him a couple more. But it was eye-opening performance. It was definitely a red flag. I'll say that. 100%. He hasn't had any red flags yet.
And that was his first one.
Yeah.
And I would say the last example I would give is Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts doesn't have the best arm in the world.
Right.
He had to really work to improve his accuracy. But the reason we were calling Jalen Hurts an elite quarterback by week 8, week 10, which last year was his first really good season, his first MVP caliber season. He had an amazing team around him, amazing defense, amazing pass rush, best offensive line in the league, top 4 receiving core, a really good running back punch. a lot of the reason we called him elite was because of his intangibles
Fact.
and because of who he is off the field and in that locker room. And I kind of think Brock Purdy has that same effect. We just don't see it because he doesn't have the aura Jalen Hurts has. He's not as cool as Jalen Hurts, so it's not going to pop off the screen. But if you see how these players talk about him, how they rally around him, how Kyle Shanahan trusts him, the way they communicate, it's different than anything we've seen with any other San Francisco 49ers, and I think there's a reason for that. Yeah. So, again, this remains to be seen, but I can't say no right now.
And I'm not above, especially for young quarterbacks, 17, 18 starts, like, and probably way more than that, but like a season at least. Like a full football, a full year. Of course, we'll find out more in the playoffs, but I do think, I don't know how, we'll see how healthy they are moving forward, how their schedule works out, what, like, you know.
They got some tough games coming up.
Because the red flag is like, oh, I hope this doesn't become a problem.
Yeah.
Whether or not, and not even whether it's actually a problem, but mentally, like, the first time he was put in that spot, and it's crazy. They almost won. They kicked it.
It's still almost won.
It's crazy. My mom, I swear to God, I love my mom to death, but my mom was watching them run down the clock. And she was like, why aren't they running another play? And I was like, well, they probably don't got enough time because they only had one timeout. She's like, I don't know. I'd get closer.
She called it.
And I was like, you know what? Like, as the time was going, I was like, man, that's kind of far.
Hey, no matter the situation, a mother knows best.
Yo, a mom knows, bro.
No matter the situation, dog.
It was like 20 seconds on the clock. She said, they should like, why are they stopping? Like, yeah. It ain't like you got Justin Tucker out there. Like, and then, oh my God. To slow roll the rookie kicker out there. Slow roll the rookie out there. Like, oh yeah, we got this.
We got it. It's in the bag.
Yeah. Niggas didn't run another play. Niggas didn't try to hurry up. I felt so bad for dude. One of my like niche favorite things just to like watch is the kicker interviews after the game, because you don't never interview the kicker unless he missed. Like, they don't never walk up to the kicker like, hey, 4 for 4 PATs. Yeah, how you feeling?
How you feel today?
4 for 4 extra points. Nah. It's like, oh yeah, you got there one time and ruined the day for the whole city. How are you handling it?
Kickers and offensive linemen. Offensive linemen never get no credit unless he holds somebody now and then in his face. Why did you do that? Well, why'd you do that, buddy? They be so mad. And you can tell, like, the O-line, they don't never be ready for the interviews. Like, they be still having, like, their undershirts on. Like, they be so shocked the cameras. They turn around, what the fuck y'all niggas?
I ain't making $40 million. What y'all for? No. Shout out Brock Purdy, though. Shout out San Fran.
For sure. They're going to be fine. And just in case you're wondering, they're going to be fine.
Listen, as long as everybody healthy for that Eagles game, I don't care what they do.
Oh, yeah. Bro, if y'all don't get healthy, bro, I'm going to be pissed, dog.
Hey, sit them down.
Sit them down to that Eagles game. I don't care about nothing going on between now and then. But that does lead me to another question. Yeah. Quick hitter. I'm going to extra question 1 minute why. Let's be ESPN for a second. They get 1 minute to explain something. All right, so
pardon the interruption style.
Right. Who is more valuable and why? Christian McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill?
I'm gonna go Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
Only because where Tyreek Hill plays.
Okay.
If Tyreek Hill played in Kansas City or another team, I think this would easily be Tyreek Hill. But I think having Waddle, who could be a diet Tyreek for just scheme-wise, helps what Mike McDaniel does a lot, where if Tyreek Hill is not there for a certain... Because you see a lot. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happening if he's getting older, cramps, whatever it is. He does cramp a lot, which makes sense because he's like running through the sound barrier. So that's just a problem we as humans don't have to deal with. But I think his production is... You'll never replace it. But in that scheme, Waddle could run some of the routes. He can run some of the motions. What Christian McCaffrey does for the 49ers, I don't think you could replace it with anybody else in the league. Just because he's so good at everything they built their team on. The wide zone, running the ball, catching the ball out the backfield, everything he does, you would have to bring in like another all-pro running back, really. Because since he's got there, they have the best team in the league.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's really I think so.
So the answer to this question actually is yes. But for the argument, I'll take Tyreek, and I'll say Tyreek for this reason.
Yeah.
Kind of exactly what you said, but because Tyreek is on the offense with 3 other 4-3 guys, it makes it impossible to stop. Right. And I think if you take away that element, you're able to contain their offense a little bit more, and you're not as scared about the speed, because you might be able to leave Waddle and run an all-out blitz over the top. You literally cannot do that with Tyreek. It will not work because he is so fast off the line. Waddle isn't as fast as him off the line. Waddle isn't as fast as him. The motions, the way he's able to take slants 60, 70 yards, Waddle has that ability, but not to the extent Tyreek does. He is not able to break the game open the way Tyreek is with that speed. Every defensive coordinator is fearing him. Every time they line up, they don't know what to call. They don't know what to do, because even if he catches that ball at 15 yards and you have the perfect angle on him, it just may not work.
See, that I'm glad you said that, especially you mentioned the angle. We're still doing the quick little last 15-second wrap up. Tyreek Hill changes the geometry of football. He changes how you have to play football, where the things you've done in your whole life literally are not what's going to work when you're playing Tyreek Hill. They show the little next-gen stats of all his routes, and it just be like, just going places. Like, he's so fast, he doesn't need to run the route.
What makes you realize, like, how unfair he was to be with Patrick Mahomes. Like, how, like, really disgusting it was.
Bro, I listen, shout out that 2019 Patriot team.
Go watch that punt he throws up in the Super Bowl to Tyreek Hill, and Tyreek just go find it. Like, okay.
Versus the Niners?
So, yeah, in the Super Bowl. Okay, Patrick Mahomes just let that bitch go. Like, he's somewhere down there. Like, that was really the most fucking he's somewhere down there throw I've ever seen in my life.
For the football nerds, if you need a really good, like, scheme game to watch, go watch that 2019 Patriots-Chiefs AFC Championship, and you'll see how good Tyreek Hill and Patrick Mahomes really are, because it's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
They scored 24 points in, like, 5 minutes versus Bill Belichick in the fourth quarter. Like, very easily. Just ripping them apart. Like,
bro, shut up Tyreek Hill, bro.
Yeah.
And then him with Travis Kelce just being in the middle of the field. So it's like, now you got to worry about Tyreek crossing you. And then, that shit was not fair, dog. And Patrick Mahomes didn't even know what he was looking at yet. Like, he was just out there on vibes. Like,
it's like, oh, yeah, Tyreek. Oh, yeah, Tyreek.
But lastly, quick hitter in football, 5-1 teams. The Dolphins are 5-1. The Eagles are 5-1. Niners, Lions, and the last one. It's the last one. The Chiefs. How do we forget? How the fuck do we forget? So how if you were to rank them from, and we're not gonna say right now who is the best, because it's week 6. Who gives a fuck? The 5-1 teams. The 5-1 teams, who are your most likely to make the Super Bowl in order? That is what I'll say.
Oh yeah, Chiefs for sure. Chiefs won. I'm gonna say Niners 2, Eagles 3, but like they're the same spot. Because if the Niners don't get there,
it's gonna be
the Eagles. The Eagles don't get there, it'll be the Niners. Right. Shout out to the Lions. I think you may be one piece away. I really think you're one defensive piece away. And then who's the last team? Dolphins. I think, and the Dolphins, I'm gonna leave at the bottom for now, just because I gotta see what Ram is.
Okay.
I gotta see how that defense is gonna change with Vic Fangio once Ram gets there.
Okay.
Because the defense, and that is we didn't talk much about the Dolphins, but everyone's killing the Dolphins defense. Everybody's like gambling this way. September football, 7-on-7 football. The defense they're playing now. And what Vic Fangio's going to be calling with Jalen Ramsey is going to be completely different. And if you need a reference, go look at the Broncos defense with PS2. It's going to be that with Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
So I'm going to leave them at 5 for now, but with a little asterisk, we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my number 1 is, surprisingly, the Dolphins right now, because the Kansas City's receivers really actually does scare me. I love the defense. Of course, I love Travis Kelce, but that receiving core really scares me. Into a lot of good defenses in the AFC. So I'm going to go to the Dolphins because I don't think you can stop them. Number 2, I am going, and Jalen Ramsey coming back, Vic Fangio, all of that combined, I'm going to go Dolphins.
Shout out Mike McDaniel.
I agree with you. And number 2 would be the Chiefs right after them. And then 3 and 4 together, like you said, Eagles and 49ers. And the reason Detroit is at 5 is because they have to play the Eagles or the 49ers, and I just don't think they're better than them.
They may have to play both.
They may potentially have to
see
the Eagles beat the Eagles and then go try to beat the 49ers or vice versa. And it's just a lot to ask.
And listen, the NFL is. I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but the entertainment side of wrestling, I've always like it's always super funny. Like I played the video games, like they're always really over the top. Whoever was at the NFL that was like, man, let's take away that second bye week. You were cooking. You were cooking. Because if I am the Lions, y'all getting 17 weeks of the most locked in football you've ever seen. Because the difference between having that bye and not is the difference between you got to play Cowboys, Philly,
San Fran.
And in 3 straight weeks.
And I'll say this. They do get that bye, which is very realistic. Yeah. They do get that bye. Yeah. They might be in that bowl.
Bro, listen, that's the thing.
If they only got to see one of them, they can beat one of them. That offense is so good, they can beat one of them.
For sure.
They will not beat both of them. It's too much to ask. It's too much for ask for any human on earth except for Patrick Mahomes and Brady. Like, it's just too much.
Jared Goff, listen, I'm a big Jared Goff guy. Jared Goff got a lot of pelts on his wall. Fam, I'm not asking him to play the 49ers and the Eagles
back to back. That's crazy.
And the thing is,
what playoff schemes? Yeah. Like, man.
And even if he does, like, then you got to go play the Super Bowl. And I'm not gonna pick Jared Goff to go beat the Eagles, beat the Niners, beat the Chiefs.
That's his Dirk run, ain't it? Like, that's his Dirk run, dog. His Joe Flacco run, dog. Like,
that would be his Joe Flacco.
Like, whoa,
no cap.
But.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, Jared.
I'm rooting for him. Yeah. I hope Detroit make it to the Super Bowl. I'll be Barry, my dog. Yeah. I'm rooting for Barry.
And we were really high. Listen, we were always right.
No, we were high, super high.
But for the people who are just tuning in, we're always right, really. Like, if you want to go look at the past shows, we told you, And we knew Detroit would be really good. Jamo came back. Jamo caught a pass.
That adjustment?
Yeah. He's, I'm telling you.
Bad adjustment.
Him and Amara.
And shout out to Dan Orlovsky. That was a flood concept. They had it was in a flood concept, if you don't know, is you send 3 routes to the same side, but it's level. So you have a flat route, a medium route, and then a deep route. This one was run across the 50, so your deep route is going to go touch the first corner pylon. Your second route is going to run a corner, and your third route is going to pretty much run a 2 to 5 yard out. And they did that. The corner sat, and like it wasn't even like a thought behind it. Yeah. It was like he saw that corner sit and let that bitch rip.
I love that.
And it was like oh yeah, it's clicking. Yeah. It's clicking. And that's what it looks like for them, is that it's clicking. Everything's clicking.
Quiet is kept. Quiet, really quiet. Really, really low key. Like, I'd really like to see Jared Goff play for the Niners. His contract's coming up soon.
Look, brother.
His contract coming up soon. I'd really like Jared Goff to just.
Hey, I thought about it. Hey, what makes Sean McVay mad? Yeah. Kyle Shanahan go win the Super Bowl with Jared Goff.
Dog, it would be perfect for real. It would be perfect for real. Shout out Matthew Stafford. Shout out Sean McVay.
Kyle Shanahan not being able to get over the hump, and you get over the hump because of Jared Goff. Like, that would be crazy.
I love it.
But all right, so unless you've been living under a rock, you know it's 7 days away. And if you don't know it's 7 days away, again, you must be living under a rock. Yep. The NBA is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The NBA is back, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. So we are going to get into all things way too early predictions. Right. Yep. As we love to do, way too early predictions. So the first thing I will ask Ish, is who are you most excited to watch, bro?
Wemby. My fault. We got really good mics. I can't really yell like that.
Yeah, for real.
But fam,
we have a great season ahead of us, dog. A really good season.
I was watching that preseason game screaming at my TV. Like, I've never... Probably when Randy Moss played for the Patriots the last time I felt like this. Where it's a nigga on my team who's doing stuff nobody else is doing, bro. That no one else can try to do, bro. Like, I've never, like, some of the things, especially, like, for us, like, basketball nerds who understand, like, just how regular basketball is played, he's legit doing things I've never seen on a basketball court. Like, he called for oop at the 3-point line. He called for the oop at the 3-point line. And my first thought was, how do you stop him? How do you stop that? Like, legit, how do you really stop that? He's still standing at the 3-point line. But because there's not someone standing in front of the restricted circle, The lob is already caught. The lob's already listen.
He dunked on somebody from outside the restricted area, and not he jumped from outside the
His
restricted.
body.
Body was outside the restricted.
Let me add one for you. We missed the free throw. He's so tall on the low block. He got the rebound anyway. But they boxed him out. It wasn't bad effort. He's just so tall. If the ball falls that way in any way, his hands on the rim. I've never seen anything like that.
And then he got an in-between cross pull.
Yo, listen, you a guard. You come off the screen, right? Dude set a real good screen. You're running by like, yeah, I got this. And Wemby, he don't pick you up. He's at the free throw line and he just swiped down at you. How do you get by that? Like I watched him rip the ball away from 5 feet away. Damn near.
How do you react to that,
bruh? Yo, I don't know if it's crazy. It makes sense why he was hyped this way. It makes 1,000% sense because he's gonna be better than Bron. Mm-hmm. My fault.
My fault. I didn't know he was saying that. Sometimes I just be over here because he be right about a lot of shit, so I don't really got to that one. I was take my back. I don't know about all that, man.
Listen, for the Newers, I am a Spurs fan, so maybe take that one with a grain of salt. But like, we got a turnover taking the ball out, and bro caught the ball, looked at the room, was like, nah, fam. Like, yo, somebody want it. Like,
he did though. He did.
There was no idea of like maybe I could get a floater. Like
didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he's like maybe I give him. No, he just took the ball right back out. I'm really excited to see how we use him. I liked how we've used him so far. He's coming off screens. He's bringing the ball up. Mm-hmm. He's catching the ball in the mid post. More Dirk than Shaq, which I really, really like because I'd rather him play like that and not grind his body every single night. Play like Dirk, face up. You can't contest his jump shots. He shot bad from 3. He only shot 5 of them. Then they're going to shoot 5 threes. I ain't going to tell him not to. I mean, he hit one. The one he hit was so scary, I think it ruined the game anyway. That's the thing. He hit. It's like Giannis hitting that first 3 like on 10. Like, because if he really hit that 3, it's like, damn.
This is over.
It's done,
I can't wait to see him and Giannis play. I can't wait to see that giant match.
And you know what? Listen, this is going to be one of those we got to have to look back a real long time. I need to remember episode 54. But in 2-3 years, when we're playing playoff basketball and Pop dust off the AD LeBron defense for y'all, but with Wemby, y'all going to remember this. Because I think that's where we're headed. Where Wemby's not going to be on the big man every night. Mm-hmm. He's not going to be on, He'll
be the main help man.
Yeah, they're not going to put him on Jokic or anything like that. We're going to put, I can't believe I'm blanking on my boy.
Vassell?
No, not Vassell. He's played amazing. The hair. What's his name?
Oh, sorry. I can't remember. I know he's
the power forward.
Yes, with the hair.
Yeah, they're going to put him on him. They're going to put Zach Collins on you.
Jeremy something.
Jeremy Sochan, yes. And listen, if you blow by him, good luck. Good luck, fam.
Have fun.
Meet me there.
See you there.
Meet him there, bro.
See you there.
It's crazy. And in hindsight, Scoop probably top 5 PGs in the league right now. Because that elite game, when he finished over Wemby like 3 times, I haven't seen somebody do it since. Real talk. Like, we took that elite game for granted, bro. He made a couple of them layups, and I was like, man, that's a good layup. In hindsight, bro.
That's an impossible layup.
It might be Derrick Rose.
So, Wemby is definitely somebody I'm excited to watch this year. A couple other people that I'm excited to watch this year. Really everybody, but Zion. I see he is skinny again. He looks like he's lost weight. The GM, Adrian Griffin not Adrian Griffin. Is it Adrian Griffin? David Griffin, yeah. He said that Zion has, from what he has seen, Zion has been more locked in than he has seen him since he's stepped into the league, which I love to see. What worries me about is that he had to get locked in, which means can he stay locked in? I'm interested to see that. John Morant coming back with all the media noise, all the bullshit that's surrounding him and his name. I'm excited. I'm excited to see him after the 25-game suspension.
Yeah.
other young talent. Shea, I'm excited to see his year 2 leap after averaging 30.
Yeah.
And OKC, Chet, I'm excited to see that young group.
Yep.
And what I am most excited to see I'm a vet guy. Like, I grew up learning basketball and knowing what I'm watching through watching Steph and KD, Bron. So, of course, like, I'm more excited to watch them than anybody. But out of my young guys, I'm going to be locked into probably about 70 of Minnesota's games this year. I am going to watch Anthony Edwards grow throughout this season because I really think he is creeping into the category of top 10 player. Yeah. He should be in that conversation by the end of the year. If he's not, I'll be disappointed in the season he has. Yeah, that's how good I think he is.
Yeah, no, last year, especially with Minnesota, having Cat out the whole year, still being a playoff team, I think people kind of overlooked that because they did struggle for a lot of the year, but they were a good team missing their second best player the entire year.
Exactly.
Almost. So I think I think Ant has so much room to grow.
Right.
Literally, Ant's ceiling is like non-existent. It's literally not.
It's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It's Michael Jordan. And I'm not, and we say that and it's funny, but like I'm not joking. Yeah. His potential. We're not saying he's going to be Michael Jordan, but his potential is Michael Jordan.
Dominant.
Like just pure dominance.
And other than Wemby, definitely young players. Of course, I'm gonna shout out Vassell. Who played great. People that people that did not know who he was before he got the deal. That boy's a bucket. He is get a bucket shooter. Kind of. He really reminds me of like Chris Middleton. He really does. He plays a lot like Chris, where it's not a lot of wasted movement per se. Gets to his spots, rises up, knock down. He's been great. Other young players I really want to see. Tyus Jones.
Tyus Jones and Jordan Poole over in Washington. Yeah.
Jordan Poole looks really good.
That's going to be fun. They're going to be fun, bro.
Jordan Poole looked really good in Washington, man.
Hey, look, y'all. Jordan Poole averaged 20 on 45% as a fourth option, dog. And when Steph was out the lineup, he was 26 a game, 6 assists. Like, that's a dog over there. Listen, Washington got a dog, bro. Hey. That's another 60, 70 games I'm going to be watching over there is Washington.
And so and it's crazy. This is probably the farthest we've gotten to a show without mentioning, like, the Warriors specifically. But
oh, it's coming.
Yeah. Jonathan Kuminga, and I don't know.
That's a good one. Jonathan
I don't know. I don't want to butcher bro name, but the rookie PG they got.
He knows how to pass the basketball.
He knows. Yeah, he's a good basketball player.
He knows how to play.
He's a good basketball player. Yeah.
He makes passes that you have to know are coming.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you've been here for 2 weeks and you do okay.
Yeah.
You play basketball.
He like, of course, as you play point guard. He maps the court really well.
Yeah.
And that's something that you really can't teach people because it is innate. It is your peripheral. It is just knowing basketball, knowing spacing. He maps the court extremely well. And for an offense that is movement-based, where even if you're not intentionally looking to cut to be open, you can be open, that's really big on the Warriors. And having Chris Paul and him doing that is very exciting with Dre. Hopefully it works. We'll get into that later. We'll get into that one later.
So
and Clay's demands. We'll get into that one later.
So hold on. That brings us to the conversation I've been wanting to have, and I've been waiting for basketball season to have it. This is a conversation series that I could probably have every week. The top 10 players in the NBA.
Right.
Because for the past few years, it's been like a solid, this is the top 3.
Right now, so I don't forget.
These are the only people you can really have 3 to 7, and these are the only 2 people you can have like 7 to 10. But now it's really like 16 people you can have in the top 10, and you can really be right. You can be 100% right.
Sure. You can stand on it.
Yeah. So me and Ish are gonna give you our top 10 list quickly, and then we're gonna sit and explain why and debate, see where he has what, because I haven't spoken to him about where his 10 is.
Go first.
So
I'm on.
I have my 10. So before I go,
it's such a nasty list. Oh my!
I would like to say, as Stephen A. said, the list is fluid.
Okay.
Shout out to Stephen A. Shout out to Stephen A. So my top 10 players.
Right.
At 10, I have the well-deserved, and this is just more of a respect thing. Got my list messed up in my head. Number 10, this is a surprise, and this is going to surprise a lot of people, except for you.
Okay.
But I got to see it. You're going to have to show me because you have disappointed me a lot. Okay. And I'm your fan. I argued you versus Jokic. I argued you versus anybody that they brought up around you. And you have disappointed me time and time again. At number 10, Joel Embiid, if you haven't noticed by now. Joel Embiid is at number 10. And number 9, I have LeBron.
Okay.
If he was 2 years younger, he'd be number 4. But he's just old. So at number 9 is LeBron. Number 8, his running mate, Anthony Davis, who I think should be in the top 5 at the end of the season. At number 7, I have Devin Booker. Number 6, I have his running mate, Kevin Durant. At number 5, my bad, Luka is at 7.
Okay.
Luka is at 7. So at 10, I have Joel. 9, I have LeBron. 8, I have AD. 7, I have Luka. 6, I have Devin Booker. 5, I have Kevin Durant.
Okay.
I think people forgot how good Kevin Durant is at basketball and how easy he makes it look. 25 a game plus for 17 straight years. That ain't no normal shit.
Right.
Number 4, I have. At number 4, I have Jason Tatum.
Okay.
I am higher on Jason Tatum the most. I know that, so I know that 4th spot is going to be higher than most people. Yep. But I love Jason Tatum. I think coming in and being a guaranteed 2nd, 3rd round is no easy task. I think coming into the Boston organization with that history is no small task. I'll explain that. But number 3, Giannis. Okay. Number 2, the Stephen Curry. I'll get into that. I know that's gonna be an issue for y'all. And number 1, it has to be.
Yeah, we got on brand in here. We back at it.
No question. Number 1 is Jokic. That boy a dog. Until further notice, until somebody else wins a championship, it is Jokic. You cannot stop him. He has become a positive defender, and he is literally unstoppable on offense. And even if you contain him and force him to shoot a bad percentage, he's going to be the reason for another 20, 30 points anyway.
I like the list a lot. My list is a little different, a little same in a couple of places. But I will start, we will talk about them later, so I'll just give y'all the numbers, let y'all hate me off jump. Start at number 10. Oh, God, I can hear it now.
They're going to be mad at you.
I got Trae Young.
Oh, well, that's not going to make me.
I got Trae Young.
Okay with that.
Mr. Lead NBA. Listen, we'll do it later. Let me do it later. 9, Braun. 8, AD when he's locked in.
Nice.
7, Booker. 6, KD. Then I got Luka 5, Tatum 4, Giannis 3, Steph 2, Jokic 1.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So
pretty close.
So very close. Yeah. So let's start with 10. Why do you have Trae at 10 instead of and Joel? Let's name who we left out. Yeah. Joel, Ja, Kawhi. We left Ant. We left PG off. Shea.
Jamal Murray. Shea.
Jamal. Yeah.
So for me, that 10 spot was Embiid, Trae, Shea. So Shea
and Fox. I'll throw him in there too.
Yeah, Fox. Oh yeah, definitely Fox. But Shea was the first of those 3 that I chose. Was not going to be that. Listen, I love the numbers, but
do it again,
and especially in the NBA, bro. I don't want to say a lot of people just score a lot of points on bad teams, but you're not the first. I try to be a consistent guy. I told Bradley Beal the same thing. See how that turned out. I don't think he'll be a Bradley Beal type player, but until that time, I'm not going to put you above people who have done those numbers and performed in the playoffs. So then it was Embiid, Trae Young. Trae Young got the tiebreaker. Beat you in the second round. So I got Trae Young there. And I think Trae Young is a better first option in the playoffs than Joel Embiid. I don't think Trae Young. I think
I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't think the Hawks roster coach situation nowhere near the Philadelphia 76ers. But when the lights are the cliche, when the lights are the brightest, when the money's on the table, in the biggest games that I've seen Trae Young play, he's played amazing. And the questions with Joel Embiid, like we talked about Herbert a couple of hours ago, I am at the point with Joel Embiid where I'm not going to put those expectations on him anymore because I've seen him not be that guy. When PJ Tucker gets off the ground in the middle of a playoff game after scoring an and one to tell you to lock in, I see what I need to know. Because, and I hate it for the Philadelphia 76ers fans because the first step is always denial. It's Ben Simmons. Oh my God, I can't believe he didn't. It was Ben Simmons' fault. Embiid went like 3/4 quarters without scoring this bucket. It was all that. Okay, we'll get Ben Simmons out of here. And then he's almost 30 without a dribble in the conference championship game. So until Embiid shows us otherwise, I'm not gonna put him top 10.
Okay, so I put Embiid over Trey and Ja and Shea. That's really who I was deciding with those four. I put Embiid there because I do think he is the most talented out of them, and he has been the most dominant. 30 and 12 MVP. Yeah. I just think that aspect of it kept him in that 10. But that Trey argument is super valid. And if you don't think it is, then go watch more Trae Young, because that's the only reason you don't think it is.
And lastly, Quinn Snyder in Atlanta.
So look,
listen,
we're getting to our teams, to our race, our Eastern Conference race. We're gonna talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
So, Jason Tatum and Luka.
Yes.
I thought you were gonna have Luka above Tatum. Yeah. You do not. Why? Because I have my reasons why. So
I used to be the other way. I think that's why I stood out to you, because I used to be the opposite. Yeah. I was Luka above Tatum, and for a couple of the reasons, I still believe that Luka in Boston or a different situation would be a ceiling raiser there a little more than Tatum. But on the flip side, I think Tatum as a floor raiser may be a better player than Luka at this point in both of their careers, because Luka can affect the game on both sides of the court yet. Tatum's ability to affect the game on both sides of the court allows his team to do less, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Luka's an amazing player, amazing scorer, amazing passer. Listen, I'm as big as Luka's guy as it gets. If you've
really been watching the show, go back to 2019. Like he been on Luka.
I said Luka's the best rookie since Braun. Like 2 weeks in. Like stand 10 toes down, but I can't
reward losing.
I can't reward losing. You can't miss the playoffs. You can't have chances to miss like if you miss the playoffs like the Western Conference we grew up with. I mean, the Western Conference last year, where 44 wins is the AFC, that's one thing. But for you to be in the playoffs and you go to Charlotte and lose,
so you don't get the 10th seed.
Yeah, that I can't reward that. And on the flip side, I've seen Jason Tatum take too many steps that Luka hasn't.
Thank you.
We've seen Jason Tatum take those steps where backs against the wall, 50. Game 7, me and the MVP, and it's me and Embiid dancing the whole game. It's me and him. I've seen Tatum take too many steps that Luka has not. We've seen Luka on those stages, and I don't want to say the stage definitely wasn't too big, but the Warriors blew them off the court. Like, it wasn't even. At no point the series.
But they did the same thing to the Mavericks before then.
Literally.
Series before.
No, that's what I mean. The Mavericks.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Like the Celtics were up. The Celtics were up.
Oh, yeah.
The Celtics were up 2-1. The Mavericks. I don't want to say the moment was too big for him, but they got took behind the shed. There was no point that anyone thought the Warriors were losing that series, especially after the first game. Before the first game, of course, Luka was the best player. Everyone was saying that. After the first game, it was like, man, it's not even fair, bro. Like, wow, get Luka up. But that is definitely why I have Tatum.
So I had Luka at 7. And the reason I had Luka at 7 is because of, you got to make the playoffs. You got to. If you're a top 5 player in this league, you got to make this playoff. I think you can be a top 10 player and miss the playoffs in that West. Yeah. So he's too talented not to have in the top 10. Kyrie is somebody we haven't mentioned either. But he is too talented not to have in that top 10. But he is out of the top 5 for me until he gets back in the playoffs and has another 45, 50 win season alongside Kyrie. I have Tatum, KD, and Booker above him, and I'll explain all of those quickly. Booker. I think Booker is a better scorer than Luka. I think Luka is asked to score the ball more, and is more dominant. But I think if you need a bucket, a quick bucket, you're
Yeah,
going to
as a
go to
pure
Booker.
scorer,
As a
for
pure
sure.
scorer, I think he's
Yeah.
a better scorer than him. I think Devin Booker is an underrated defender, a better defender than Luka. And I have a lot of love for mentality in basketball because I think you having a real dog about you matters more than it does in any other sport because it's such a one-on-one sport at times. I mean, like boxing and shit like that, but it's such a one-on-one sport at the time. So I think that separates them. It's the smallest edge between Booker and Luka, though. KD, again, I think y'all have forgotten how good KD is. I will say again, 25, 17 straight years. 25 plus 17 straight years is no small feat.
Easy.
If KD had not missed those 2 seasons of foot and the Achilles, he would be the all-time leading scorer when it was all said and done. Like, he is one of the 3 best scorers ever. He has turned into a rim protector, a really good rim protector. He's a adequate on-ball defender. I would say an above average plus on-ball defender. And then, yes, a plus help defender. So all of those things combined with the fact that you literally cannot stop him. He going to go get you 28 on 12 shots on 70% shooting. Like, what the hell are you talking about? So and then Tatum is everything is shit. Everything Luka doesn't do on the defensive end, Tatum does to an elite level. To a point where you're putting Tatum on your best player and then asking him to go get 30. And that's no small task. Only 7-8 guys in the history of the league have done that and won championships. I only have done that. Only 3 of them have won championships doing, and that's the 3 greatest ever. So Tatum gets that nod for me. And again, I say winning that much, winning as much as he has, constantly in the conference finals, constantly in the is it the quarterfinals? The second round? Semifinals? Conference in the conference semifinals. Constantly in the second or third round. Like, those are the only 2 rounds he loses. He never gets first rounded. The only question we're having for Tatum is, yo, can you perform in the finals? And that's a question we can't even figure out for Luka yet. So
exactly.
So, and then Giannis and Steph. Let's explain that together because that's the last thing people are going to have a problem with.
Man, so last year this was a much harder argument. Well, actually, it wasn't a much harder argument. It's really never been an argument.
For me,
the year Giannis won the championship was probably the hardest argument. And
Steph Curry didn't play that year.
Yeah, and we had him above Steph for those years. But Steph Curry's not getting first rounded by the Heat.
Oh, yes, he did. He went crazy that year.
Yeah, Steph's not getting first rounded by the Heat.
He's not.
Sorry. Giannis won the entire playoffs, did not win a playoff game. That is true. Giannis was swept. His team was not. They won a game without him. Giannis contributed to 0 wins this playoff. I love Giannis, but the flaws in Giannis' game have not changed.
And I don't think they can.
And
it's okay.
And that's the thing.
Like, it's so okay.
We've always been consistent on Giannis where Giannis is a big man for us. So the flaws in Giannis' game, I was never a Giannis need to take threes. I don't want him taking threes. If he go 2 for 6, like, okay, let's say I'd like him to go 1 for 3. I don't want him to take 4 or 5 a game just to try to get, shoot 35%.
Because those three extra threes could be 10 points.
And Giannis is, man, listen, Giannis is 30 a night, 10 a night, 6 assists. He gonna play 82 games. He gonna play them all super hard. His team's gonna be great, but that's Steph Curry. So on the other hand, the way we just talked about Victor and Tyreek Hill, Steph Curry changes how you have to play basketball. And he is still, at this age, he is still the only player in the league. And Dame, you got to cut this out. I know you, especially because you're on Milwaukee now, we won't be hearing this. You don't get guarded like Steph. Steph is the only person in the history of basketball to be guarded the way he is. Steph Curry changed basketball for days he doesn't even play basketball. He changed the way you guard all shooters. What Steph Curry does to make the game easier for his teammates, it's hard to even put into words. Like, you hear the gravity talk, but that's not even, it doesn't encompass enough. Like, the gravity is just the best examples we could show of 2 people chasing Steph Curry. But, like, for Draymond Green and Kevon Looney to survive my bigs need to step out and hit the jumper era without very little. And the only reason Draymond gets criticized.
Say that again.
2 bigs that went a decade without shooting. And what's so ironic is
I have to shoot era. I have to have 5 players on the short because of him.
And what's so ironic about it is
best 5-man lineup in basketball.
Best 5-man
with 2 of them on the court.
2 non-shooters on the court. And what's so ironic is all the teams that don't have shooting, that have to have shooting bigs now, it's because of Steph Curry. But because Steph Curry's on the Warriors, Draymond can just be facilitating defense, finishing. The only reason people complain Draymond don't shoot is because he shot for 1 year and they were the best team ever. So, maybe he kept shooting.
And he said he's shooting this year. He said he's working on it.
But, yeah, exactly. And Steph Curry's ability to just be it's going to sound weird, but a positive black hole on offense where he is like, you know what, we can just put it on Steph's shoulders. So
I'm going to say everything he just said in a different way. Giannis can break the game, but Steph will destroy the game. Yeah. So in the NBA, as I just said a couple minutes ago, it's very one-on-one based. So one player can do a lot. One player can change a lot. Right. Bron was able to damn near win playoff series by himself. Yeah. Kobe was able to win games just off jumpers.
Yeah, no cap. Bron won a couple. I ain't gonna say a couple. Bron won a bunch of them.
Yes, exactly. So because you have that ability in basketball to be in control of so much offensively, defensively, you are able to win games by yourself, win quarters by yourself. What Steph is able to do in breaking the game is greater than what Giannis is able to in breaking the game, because what Giannis can do can be stopped. What Steph can do cannot.
Facts.
And if you try to stop what Steph is doing, you're going to leave his teammates so open that it's no point of even trying to do what you're going to have to do to stop him. So for a team like when they play the Nuggets, they're going to run this pick and roll at 27 feet. And at 27 feet, you're going to have to make the decision to either pull Jokic up or fight under that screen and have Jokic drop. But if you drop on that, then he is going to hit 8-9 threes and you're going to lose the game. Yeah. If you come up on that screen, the slip is there, and now you're playing 4-on-3 in a half-court setting because you ran that pick and roll at 30 to 32 feet, 27 feet. Right. And the last option is you trap him. But if you trap him, the same option. Yeah. The same thing as I just said, you're running a 4-on-3, and the Warriors have mastered the art of the 4-on-3, so it's always a positive outcome. Even if they don't score, it's a positive shot. And you cannot live in the NBA in playoff time positive shot after positive shot after positive shot, which is why you see them break games open and go on these crazy runs, because you have to pick your points with Steph. With Giannis, it's one thing you have to stop him from doing, and that's getting downhill and getting to the rim. And Giannis is dominant, and his numbers are dominant, and they're eye popping. They pop off the screen. And his dunks and his ferociousness and his mean looks, they are top 3 worthy, but there is just a little gap between him and Steph, because you can build a wall. You saw what Miami did to him. Yeah. You saw how they're able to neutralize him. You see how Boston has the upper hand on him right now. You saw Giannis have a 3-2 league 2 years ago against Boston, going back to his home court and watch Jason Tatum go 47 and 35 back-to-back games and come back and win them a series to go to the finals. You saw this happen. We ignore these things with Giannis because we love what he does in the regular season, but if you can't translate the regular season and that 30-12 and dominant wins, easy wins to the playoffs, then how good are you really? You're top 3 good, because look, again, he is top 3 good, and I'm not disputing that. But he got one more year before I start saying Tatum is better than him too. He got one more year.
I could feel it. I would love for Tatum to win an MVP because that would really accelerate the process. But to piggyback off what you said, that playoff was the one for me where the Giannis-Steph conversation kind of ended, because I first thought that they were going to get that in the finals. Yeah. But Giannis, of course, didn't get it done versus the Celtics. But to watch that Boston defense versus Milwaukee and then versus Golden State. Yes. It was the perfect litmus test for how different it really is.
Thank you. That's a perfect example.
Where Giannis struggled that series, shot a terrible percent, had good numbers, but shot a terrible volume because of how they play. He does struggle at the free throw line still. We saw it in the Miami game. Scared to shoot free throws, throwing the ball out of bounds, a bunch of embarrassing stuff. But Steph, versus that very same defense with those very same players, same great defensive coach, number 1 defense in the league, defensive player of the year on you, all NBA defense switching on you, and then it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who are also there with Rob Williams behind, and he averaged 30 on 50-40-90 on ISOs, on pick and rolls, on literally just, I'm so good, I'm just gonna have to do it myself. And I tell my friends, I tell all my friends who are Boston Celtics fans all the time. Shout out Alicia, I told her just before, like, they win the championship versus any other team that year. Any other team that year. It does not
They
matter.
beat every other team that year.
Because that defense works against any other player. There's just no stopping it.
And
go watch some of the shots. And I know we have, it's so ho-hum, like, oh yeah, Bron averaged 28. Like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes rolling left, going right. Like, we get it. Tyreek was fast. Steph Curry shoots from far. But go look at the reaction when those shots hit and what that does to those other teams. When it's really great defense. And it's a time where we really need to stop. And he's the only person ever that can take this shot and not get a timeout called on him. Like, that's a good shot. And the it's just, they go in. And so that is my thing for Giannis. And we're Kobe guys. Gotta close games. Sorry. Gotta close games, bro.
Leave it right there. You gotta close games. And he doesn't do that.
Yep.
And lastly, I will say I gotta be able to trust you with the ball in your hand for the last shot, for my go-to bucket. Even not necessarily for the last shot, because we're not last shot. You gotta be clutch if you only hit the last shot. We're not those people. But 2-3 minutes left in the game, we down 3. We need a bucket. Yeah. We don't even need the 3. We just need a bucket to keep us in the moment, because they got a momentum. They just hit a 3, or they got to stop, and 2 buckets in a row. We need you to slow the game down, go get a bucket. Yeah. You're gonna trust Steph to do that before you trust Giannis. We're splitting hairs here again. Giannis is Giannis, bro. Like, it's no.
We're not you to think we're talking about Giannis.
It's just
we're saying at worst Giannis is the 3rd best player on earth.
We're saying at the peak of their powers,
literally,
they are damn near even. But Steph just has this little thing that can break the game open. Yeah. And look, bro, if you don't believe us, he has 4 championships to win.
That's the thing.
He is 16-1 in the West because he cannot be stopped for 4 games. Yeah. You can't guard it for 4 games. He is 16-1. It took the greatest effort from one of the 3 greatest players we've ever seen in life to beat him one time, and the second time his team fell apart. Right. Like, those are the only 2 times he's lost. He's lost 3 times in the finals. 3 times in the playoffs. Those 2 times, you know what happened. And then last year they just had a bad team and they have discombobulated. Yeah. But like, he is who he is for a reason. So I don't want you to think we're being exaggerated.
And what can you say? Like, what can we say that's not been said about Jokic?
Oh yeah, Jokic.
Like, what can you say?
Yeah.
Like, I was a Jokic guy. Like, I didn't like some of the stuff I be saying. Like, I don't even know how to like react to it anymore. Like the stuff he does, it's
laughable.
Laughable. We're in a really good place with basketball.
We're in an amazing place with basketball. We just rattled off, like, as far as NBA players, we like named 30 NBA players today, and they all A- to A+ players.
Great players.
It was great to play against, dog. Like, so the last thing we'll do, we'll hold off on our playoff seasons again because we're about 2 hours. I want to talk your head off. So last thing we'll do to close out the show, something fun. MVP picks. Give me your top 3 MVP picks for this year. 3-1.
Trae Young.
I like that.
De'Aaron Fox.
I like that.
Luka.
Okay. My 3 are staying with you. Trae Young. My second one is Jason Tatum. I think he is due for one soon.
Right.
And my third one, sticking to the theme of the show, Anthony Edwards.
Okay, yeah.
Anthony Edwards. That was not in order, but those are my top 3 candidates. I think if Anthony Edwards is a top 4 seed, which I think Minnesota has a possibility to be, Anthony Edwards will be in that MVP conversation. And then if I had to throw a 4th one, of course, Luka.
Yeah, and I know for the people watching, they're like, wow, you didn't say De'Aaron Fox was top end, but you think he's going to win the MVP. Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah.
And I think the way the Kings play,
it's so in question, bro.
Bro,
it's 12 people that can win MVP this year. Bro, real shit.
Literally. And I think they have the type of team where we talked about, like, Utah, like, those teams that take the regular season really serious, like, they saw, like, man, home court really matters. Like, yeah, we have the best home court in the league.
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if they have the best record in the West, just because how young they are, how talented they are. Other teams are older; they're not going to play as many games. They're going to go out there and play every game super hard.
Yes.
As far as Trae Young, I think they're going to be in super contention.
Top 4 seeds
for
this
the
year.
First, like, top 4 seeds, and I think that not only. The biggest thing is, and it's so ironic because we didn't really mention Shea a lot this episode, and people kill me because I don't, like, put Shea in this category. Like, yeah, you have the stats, and the first couple years you have the stats, people love you, but eventually everyone gets, like we are, like we do. you have to translate it to some winning basketball.
We just be early on that.
Really?
Like, it just be like, y'all do this with everybody. Like, they go average 28, 30, and be like, oh my God, they're top this. And it's
exactly.
like, bro, they're going to do this again next year, and they're not going to win anything, and they're not winning anything again, and then they're going to be Bradley Beal. No offense.
Right.
Like, Bradley Beal has had an excellent NBA career with more money than I'll probably ever make in my life. Like, great guy. Amazing NBA
He followed
player,
the
too.
career path.
Like, it's a perfect career path. I'm not saying anything is wrong with being Bradley Beal. Like 99.9% of the population would die to be Bradley Beal.
Right, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong.
And Bradley Beal is one of the best basketball players of this generation.
We're just saying, like,
great basketball player, elite scorer.
Because you average 30 don't mean you're a number one option.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's not a number one option on a championship team. And we can talk about this more later. I want to. We should bring some guests on so we can talk about the number one option thing. But the biggest thing about being a number one option is for you to be a number one option, you need to be able to beat number one options.
Yes.
And that's what people don't understand. It's not just, I'm averaging 30 a night. When number one options come to town, you need to still be a number one option.
Come on now.
And I think that's what Trae Young that's what Trae Young is. Mm-hmm. That's what he's going to be able to be. But now that they're winning, it goes from, those are good stats to, wow, they're winning, and he averaged a 30 and 10, and he's doing all that. So I think that is Trae Young. That's what's on the other end.
Yeah, we will dive more into basketball next week. Next week we'll do our playoff rankings and all of that good stuff, and we'll talk more nitty gritty, compare some players. We should bring a guest on soon to compare some players, have some fun with that. But thank you. If I was a betting man though, Tatum would be my bet for MVP just because I think they're going to have an excellent regular season, and he plays 70 games every year. Right. But this has been episode 54. We'll think of a name later. One day we're going to name one of the podcasts. Well, the episodes, we'll think of a name later. But we'll think of a name later. Thank you for joining, and please like, subscribe. Everything is in the bio. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Go watch the shorts if you are here. If you see this and you skip through the episode, it's shorts of the episode on YouTube as well. Go follow our TikTok. You'll see clips there. So thank you for joining us. We will be back next week. And you guys stay blessed and let people over in traffic. If you don't live in Atlanta, then you may not know what that means.
You probably think yes, that's a regular thing.
We out of here.